Not yet.
Checking your stream. Stream is good. Stream is good.
Okay. Whoops, get my teacup out of the way. Hello everybody. Welcome to Wild Earth Safari this afternoon. My name is Mark with Seb on camera, and Craig is back in final control. Tara's there as well. It's turned into a very blustery afternoon, quite a strong wind blowing, and we're going to see what we can find out there for you this afternoon. We've already got some things to go and find. We had some lion this morning, the Tsalala females, and we're hoping that we're going to find them again. But before we do, we're going to go down to Gowrie Dam, because I believe there might be something in front of the lodge, so we're going to go and have a look at that. In the meantime, we'll just see what we can find along the way. I see the lodge has started cutting the grass here on the open area. It's going to be nice. It's be interesting for birds, and who knows, maybe we'll see white-tailed mongoose come back again. Now, I did promise, we were at the sausage tree the other day, and I was talking about hopefully seeing it come into bloom and everything, but of course things have changed now and we're not likely to see it, not likely to see a sausage tree for some time. But I don't know if any of you can remember, but back in summer we found this fruit that had fallen. In fact, we'd watched this fruit grow. It was hanging from the tree. This is what a sausage looks like. This is now desiccated and dried. It has taken some time. Maybe I should put it there. You can see a bit better in the light and it won't move too much. It is now a fraction of the weight that it was. It weighed a couple of kilograms when I picked it up because it was thick and juicy, and now it is just a shell. But I'm going to try and get it open for you. Hello, Roller, just landed in the tree. I'm going to try and get it open for you. It's very difficult. There are little doors in the sausage, and these are probably from the larva of a, well, could be in a vegetarian wasp, could be a moth larva. There is a bit of silk that lines the burrows of each of these little holes, and there are little caps to where they may have emerged. Difficult to say what it is. I think I've got a pocket knife here actually. Whoa. Sorry. Not going to be easy to open. It's very fibrous. Okay, now there we go. Now what I can show you, those little holes. Here's one of the larvae, and it looks like it's dried and died. So this is one of the larvae of whatever it is that eats. Let's put it on the dashboard there. No, won't see it there. Where will you see it? Here. It's too dry. It's blowing in the wind. Blowing in the wind. Answers blowing in the wind. Anyways, this actually looks like a moth larva rather than a beetle larva. Just by the shape of the head. Sadly, it doesn't look like any seed survived, because probably these larvae were after the seed. Now inside the fruit, if we move it closer to you, inside the fruit, this is filled with a fleshy, it's like a fleshy substance. It's because of all the fiber, you can't sort of bite into it, you can't take bits out and chew it. I mean, the animals that eat this, like an elephant or a hippo, will eat the whole fruit and nothing but the fruit. There's from one of these things that hatched. Here's the pupil case of one of them that hatched at the bottom here. That is a moth, and none of these seeds have survived because these larvae have been getting into this fruit when it was still fresh and eating all of the seed. They've all hatched long time ago, pupated. Anyways, that's the inside of the sausage, and this was a sausage. We watched this from the time it was a flower to becoming a full sausage and falling, and I went in for a walk one day and actually managed to find it, if I remember correctly. There's a spot underneath here that is where the bruise is. No, wait, this is where it is. From when it fell on the ground. Yeah, that is where it hit the ground. Okay, so that's the remainder of our sausage. It now weighs not even just a few grams. It's so light. Not the kind of thing you park a car under in the summer when they're falling. I've seen many vehicles lose their windshields parking under sausage trees. Sounds like both the cubs are in front of the lodge. Wow, this is a very strong wind. We'll have to do more talking this afternoon. I don't know how much is going to be moving around in this wind. But both cubs are at the lodge, probably waiting for Karula to come back. She must have gone off hunting somewhere. Maybe we'll go and see if we can find those lions first. I don't think they're going to be in the same place. I think that they have a tendency to move a little bit every now and then. Where they were, it would have been pretty windy and dusty, so they would have moved into a more sheltered place, which would be maybe in the riverbed. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Evidently, Lucas was saying he saw in Duna. Hang on. Ephraim, I'll come back there later. Alright, we're gonna leave the cubs at the lodge. There's a lot of vehicles responding there. Now, Induna was seen near the staff village and made his way towards Graham's old house, which is actually now Craig and Kelly's house. Then Karula was seen as well, coming off Gallagher, crossing the road coming onto quarantine and heading towards the drainage line here on the western edge of the open area. So, interesting leopard activity around. With a wind like this and dried leaves, the tracks of animals age much quicker than they normally would, unless of course it's sheltered, but especially tracks out here in the open. Anything that may look, or that may be fresh, will look like it's hours if not a day old. There's so much movement on the ground. Wind and leaves and twigs, things blowing off trees. Those two boys that crossed through here the other night. Tracks here. Apart from lion from the other night, but there is a leopard track. But that doesn't look like Karula. That looks like more like Induna. Or maybe he did come this way too. Only drive around and have a look. Hello Sharon, nice to hear from you. Interesting question too. Whether, well, we're talking about brood parasites in birds now. Brood parasites are birds that, like a cuckoo, or yeah, like a cuckoo I guess. I think some of the firefinches are brood parasites as well. No, not firefinches. I don't know, I'll think of the other brood parasites in a minute. But these are birds that lay their eggs in other birds' nests and then leave all the hard work to the other birds' parents. Sharon is asking, once that bird has fledged, do the real parents then take over and teach it how to be a bird of its own species? How does it work? And it's mostly governed by instinct, Sharon. It's something that I've often thought about, how they would know to call, and all they've heard is their surrogate family's call. How would they know to call their own call, or what they need to feed on? But actually it's all instinctive. Somehow, as a survival tool, the birds have found that by laying their eggs in other birds' nests gives them a greater chance of survival, rather than having to go through the rigors and energy consumptive process of feeding chicks. And somewhere along the line, nature must have short-circuited things and made sure that they have at least some instinctive inheritance to behave like the birds that they really are. Because there's no role at all in their biological parents. They play absolutely no role whatsoever in their children's lives. The Gari gang are back. Baboon tracks on the road going back towards camp. They're quite fresh, on top of all the vehicle tracks from this morning at any rate. Lucas come in? Lucas. Gary gang, yeah. And human, yeah. Somebody walking from the pump house, maybe. This is typical weather going into August. A little bit cloudy. So it's late winter weather. Cloudy, windy. Reminiscent of Cape. Sunny Cape wintry days with the wind, with the southeaster that blows. I'm not a fan of the wind. I like its song. Go past Treehouse and then go up onto Battalier Road. Gary gang, we're here. Good afternoon to Deb in Connecticut. How's the Connecticut weekend treating you, Deb? Welcome to our drive. I'm asking, when it's windy like this, do the animals not move around because their hearing is impeded? Well, yes, to a large extent that is part of it. That is a lot of it. Oh, there were elephants here. For the prey species who rely on hearing, and hearing is a very important sense, because more often than not they're going to hear something that warns them of danger before they're going to see it. And wind at this time of the year is probably at its noisiest because of all the dry leaves, dry twigs. It makes quite a noise, and that does hinder their ability to hear things. So some of the prey species have a tendency to seek thicker cover, and if we see anything, we'll see any animal we see, you'll see how much more their ears move now in the wind listening to all the noises, how much jumpier they are. See, whatever we find, we'll have a look and we'll stop and we'll observe their behavior, as opposed to when it's calm and they're a lot more relaxed. Predators, on the other hand, are a different story. While they too are a little bit more nervous because of all the noises that are coming, they can then use this to their advantage. They can use the cover of the wind. Also because when it's a strong wind, it's a very consistent wind coming from the same area, same angle, same direction all the time. They can use that to their advantage in hunting. As quiet as a leopard is, if it's coming from downwind and it's stalking something heading into the wind, that animal's not going to hear it. So we're likely to have more predator activity than prey activity, which is why maybe we've had the likes of Induna walking around, Karula. I can see a big animal down here. There is a hippo walking around. Let's have a quick look. He's actually just come out of the water. Not entirely unusual. Sorry Seb, let's just get here where we'll see him nicely. Even in the middle of summer I've seen hippos out of the water. Depends on where it is though. Just had to stop straight away because he was already making his way back in. And if I carried on, he would have just run into the water. He hasn't been out very long. Maybe he was heading out to do a bit of grazing, and now that we've arrived, he just wants to feel a bit safer being back in the water. I was once on a section of the lower Zambezi near the Mozambique border where it's pretty mountainous on either side of the river, and there's very little grazing between the river and the mountains. And as a result of that, even in, this was January, the hot, humid middle of summer, these hippos had to graze during the day because they weren't getting enough at night. Something on Gary Main. I think it's a rhino. He's going to start displaying now. Hey big boy, you want to do a dance for us? Put on your tutu. First he'll blow some bubbles, and then he'll go somewhere else and pop up where we least expect him, except we can see the bubbles. I knew you were coming.
Come on, do it.
Yeah, go. I haven't got there yet. I'm still at Treehouse. Okay, well, he's decided to be still. Thought they were going to do a bit of a dance. Jump around a little bit, display, throw his mouth at us, show us his teeth, warn us that if we came any closer he'd bite the vehicle in half.
This can't bind it down, no?
No, this clutch is not taking. It's pushed in all the way and it's...
2 weeks, man.
Pardon?
You need it for another 2 weeks.
I know. But I just put clutch fluid in and it's already flat. Get that again in a minute. Okay, let's try that one again. Interesting question, Debbie. Oh, look, there was a butterfly here called the pearl caraxes, one of the most amazing of the caraxine butterflies. But boy, that would be a miracle if we could get that on film. Probably landed on that spike film. Won't get a film. They're such fast. I'll have to check the clutch in a minute. They're such fast flying butterflies. And when they land, although they've got the most beautiful interior of their wings, when they land, the outside of the wing looks exactly like a dead leaf, with the ribs and the veins and everything. Debbie! Hello. If you touch, there's always been, I was even taught that as a kid, you touch a baby bird, it'll be rejected by the parents because of the scent of human on it. And why doesn't that happen to brood parasites? Well, funny enough, you'll find some of the brood parasites, the eggs actually look like the host eggs. They'll lay a blue egg if the host bird is a blue egg bird with blue egg. Sometimes the eggs, obviously it's a different size, sometimes it's a different color, but it hatches first, I guess mostly because it'll smell very much the same as the host parent bird. Birds smell I'm sure each individual bird species smells differently, but birds are not famous for their sense of smell. Not all birds. But it's also it's not true that if you touch a baby bird the parents will reject it, because they don't. The parental instinct, especially in some cases maternal, some cases paternal or parental, but that instinct is so strong that it won't really matter to them that their baby's been touched. Especially if you put a baby bird back in its nest. You might as well just keep feeding it. It'll be fine. Of course, you don't want to be touching it with hands that do have a strong scent or have anything on your hands, because the skin of a baby bird will absorb it. Like anything that you touch, especially amphibians. Never touch amphibians with dry, dirty hands. Even some of the soaps that we use, bad to touch amphibians after that. So best thing to use for amphibians are hypoallergenic gloves, especially nowadays with this fungus that's killing off frogs. But yeah, I think it's the parental thing is stronger than their sense of smell. So even with the cuckoo or the brood parasite in their nest, they're not gonna worry too much about it. They're just gonna want to raise it and then get it out of the nest. Hello, Ellen. Ever since you first asked, I've always thought about you every time we see monkey orange. But they're way beyond fruiting now, Ellen. You have to wait till next season. I'll show you the monkey orange bush, but they're not going to have fruit on them. I had a fruit. I had it in the car, and then it ended up outside Uganda. It is Rhino. Look south because the wind's coming from the south. Okay, sounds like shorthorn. Rhino shorthorn. Heading along Gari Main, west. We'll do a nice little loop. See if we can find where the cats went to, and then we'll see. We'll make our way to the lodge, see the kids, the cubs, the children. Now, do we go all the way back to where they were? Or do we think that maybe they've moved? Go back to where they were. Ephraim, come in. Alright, I had Karula's young ones at the lodge, and I don't know if anyone's picked up on those Ngala from this morning yet. Sorry, go again? Who? They were, but they came this way, and I left them this morning just off Tsalala Road South. I'm making my way there now to see if they're still around. That's fun. We missed that elephant west of Treehouse, Spum Road. I've got no gears. I'm gonna have to stop and sort this out before we see any line. No clutch, I mean. Okay, but what I wanted to show you was these Impala. Just look at the stance, and I'm moving around quite a bit. The ram chasing a young ram. The ram's chasing this little boy. Maybe it's also why he's nervous. He's run behind us now. No reason for this big ram to actually be chasing him, but he is. All these females will have been covered already. Keeping to a fairly tight group. You know, there's a young ram in there that was only born this season. This big ram is not even bothering with him. Actually, there are two little boys there. This other ram is a yearling, or is about 18 months old now. The ram won't tolerate the little boy of that age. Hello. Yes, it's me, a human being. Can you believe it? Okay, there's still fluid. It's just must be a pocket or something. Ephraim, come in. Are you checking on that Ngala? I'm on Tsalala Road South. I'll see from this end. They're in a fairly sheltered spot there now. To the rejection theme. Vivian, hello. What about baby rabbits? They get rejected if you touch them. I don't know. I'm not sure about that one, Vivian, having not experienced baby rabbits. I don't know. Good question. I would imagine that rabbits do have a slightly stronger sense of smell. And somewhere in my past, in my memory banks, there's something about it that they'll even maybe eat their young if you touch them or something. I don't know, I'd have to find out from a rabbit breeder. Sorry, I didn't get that, Craig. Was it a stick? Let me just come back. I can just reverse it, Marcella. Or not. Ah, yeah. Piece of dry buffalo thorn. Janina wants to know about feather mites. What about feather mites? Sorry. All birds have feather mites, and are they harmful to the youngsters? I would imagine all birds have them. Hello, Franklin. You got feather mites? Feather mites are kept in control by birds preening and their oils and their dust bathing. But you know, there's actually been shown that there are specific feather mites for different types of feathers and for different colored feathers even. And somehow white attracts. Okay, whereabouts? Okay, I'm coming from the west. I can't remember what else I knew about feather mites. So there's something about them being more harmful to white feathers, and why it's harder for birds with white feathers to keep themselves clean, rid of and free of mites. And yes, I'm sure the young would be affected by them. That's why a lot of birds even use aromatic leaves and different plant material to act as like anti-parasite stuff, keeps parasites down. Starlings are known to do that. And okay, we're getting into where these lions were. Bonnie, hippos. Hippos have a gestation of about 9 months. So, I don't know if we're going to see them too well from this angle. Might have to come back this way, Seb. best we can do with
Yeah.
the terrain the way it is. Hello, BB and girls. He says not too windy here. Seems to be windier at the lodge and obviously on the higher ground. Quite nicely sheltered. So, everyone, these are the Tsalala Pride. Or part of them. Doug had a question about leopard. We'll get to that in a little while. Just gonna spend some time with these cats for a little bit first. It'll probably still be a little while before they're going to move around them much. But from here, if they go anywhere from here, it'll be very difficult to follow them unless they sort of take a route out that we pretty much came in on and get out onto the road, get towards wherever they're going. Maybe going to continue on south. They were heading south when they got here. Tailless wonder. That's not very ladylike. That's not very complimentary either. Hello Drongo, he says, changing the subject. Got a fork-tailed Drongo waiting for me to move so I can catch some insects. They should build a nice little dam here. It'll sort out all this erosion. Or maybe while we still got light, we should make our way to the lodge and see if we can see Karula's cubs. She's walking around. She might catch something and go and find them. But these girls are not going to move, and we're not going to sit here for an hour watching them sleep. So we can maybe come back later. It's just nice to catch up with them now and maybe see them in a little while. Bye bye, BB and girls. That's where I was standing this morning looking for them. So, thanks Ephraim for pulling us. Oh, okay. Look, there's a Franklin shouting. Ephraim's talking about just here. Anyway. So we got JJ. There we go. Still something chasing Franklin's further down again. Towards those Impala. Maybe it is Karula. JJ, hello. That's in the drainage line. We're not going to see anything. Those Impala, maybe we just watch those Impala for a bit. We might be lucky. So there she is. Hey, leopard. I was saying this morning, you know, I never really find a leopard just walking on the road and boom, and they're Impala ahead of her. Look how lucky we are. We leave lion and we come to a leopard. Ephraim. We are walking on Tsalala, Nyala Road South. All stations 1 Ingwe, Nyala Road South.
Okay, come in.
So we don't even need to go to her children. We can watch her for a bit first.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, just trying to work out what's the line up there. Is it worth coming or just in the 6 scoring in? I think guys, the 13 and for Laman 2.1, she's back 8 and then
the Impala were right here. And they haven't seen her yet. I think she's just looking at them now. And they've got Tundi somewhere on another property. It's a day for predators. I'm watching that Impala ram horning a bush and I know she's looking at the same thing. She mustn't move. She's just been seen. Look, did you see that? How she just dropped. Wow. She's gone into hunt mode. She's behind the spike thorn now. She's lying down. She's going to wait it out. So maybe we will too. Let's creep a little forward. Just lying down behind this bush. I don't really want to draw attention to her. What we can do is we leave her be and we'll just creep around here to this little open area, turn around and watch the Impala, and we'll be able to see her maybe moving. I mean, taking the chance that we'll lose her. Let me see. Go this way a bit. These Impala, I don't know what is likely to hit them, so I'm not gonna be in any way interfering in what might transpire, if anything. That might all be for naught. I can hardly see her. Well, I can't see her. I can hardly see the bush that she's behind. What?
I think you should go a little bit forward so I can see maybe on the left there. Because I've got
Okay.
a big bush as well.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, she's gonna go around the back there though. But this is good.
yeah.
Okay. Helps me see the road as well. So essentially what we have here is a leopard hunt in progress, and hopefully
Would she go for a full-grown Impala like that?
yeah, she's taken full grown, she's taken Nyala bulls.
Oh,
And she's got open ground to cover unless she goes around it. But we've also known her to be very patient, to just lie down and wait it out. If they're browsing and grazing slowly in her direction, she might just wait until she gets a better opportunity. Also possible that what she's done is she's laid down and she's going to let them relax. This is a leopard that knows what she's doing. If she was to, when they were already a little bit alert, just before she dropped, she kind of froze, because if she'd moved they might have seen her. I've lost visual of this ingress gone into the drainage line. Where are you now, Ephraim?
I'm on the central east. Yeah, I know what is Mark.
Okay, copied. They're moving into thicker cover. Should be in trouble. It's close enough to those lion that if Impala makes a noise, if she kills it, those lion will hear it. Unless she can silence it. She has she's very good at silencing them immediately. It's probably one of her one of the reasons why she's been so successful, because she's able to kill things silently and not have them shout and attract attention. Oh well, now that plan is no longer happening. So now we better go and look for it. If she's not there, then we'll just have to come back and try and keep an eye on at least one or two of these impala. And it's the only way we're likely to see her again for now. No, she's still here. Hello, girl. I only need to just turn around and we'll come and wait with her. She's sitting up now, licking her lips, because they've moved out of sight of her so she can change the position. Doug was asking about Karula leaving the cubs, going off hunting, and what do they do while she's gone hunting. I think it was Doug. As they get older, they get naughtier. They start playing and they start chasing things. That's how they learn. When they're very, very young at first, they don't do much. But as they start getting older, they start getting a little bit more adventurous. She's now... we'll just have to give her the opportunity to reposition herself. There she is, keeping her tail low, keeping her head low. She's making her way through these open fields while she can, because they're not going to see her, to this thicket at the back here. And I've been in the back here with Rhino, so I know that we can maybe see it from the back, but I still think we need to get to be with those impala rather than be with her. Just been distracted. She's looking quite empty. Yeah, I've picked up this Ingwe again, Karula on Tsalala Road South.
Lucas, correct? Lucas, number? I'm close to your house. What did you copy? Okay, copy that.
What you gonna do, girl? Don't look at me. I'm just sitting here waiting for you. Look at that beautiful animal. Just incredible. There's something behind me she's watching. Yep. From Rita. Hello, Rita. Rita's asking about the lion and the leopard being as relaxed as they are with the vehicles, and is that because they're accustomed to the vehicles? And could you generalize that behavior in other areas as well? Could you expect that behavior in other areas? Not really, Rita. There's some areas where the only thing you see of a leopard is its tail as it disappears into the bush because they're very shy. It depends entirely on the behavior of the vehicles over a period of time, over a length of time, and how accustomed the animals are to the vehicles, and whether they've been born to them or not. Unfortunately, there's in some areas where I've been, the behavior of drivers, I'm not even going to say guides, drivers, has perpetuated the behavior of leopards and lions there to be very shy. Maybe not so much lion, but certainly with leopards. And because in some areas the leopard disappears as soon as they hear a vehicle, there's the common belief that, well, if you gun your engine and you race towards it, you might get a better look. Meanwhile, the leopard sees that as an extremely threatening gesture. You're racing towards it because you want to catch it. So those leopards are just going to forever be running away from vehicles. Last I saw of her tail was going through here. Oh, there she is. She's close to these impala, judging by how low she's crouching. Can you get her through there, Seb? Keep your tail still, girl. You can see the impala's tails flicking through the bush there. They're probably not even 10, less than 10 yards from her. Maybe 20 feet. It's very, very thick in there, so whether we're going to see her if she kills one or not, I don't know. And she's gone. She made a strike. I don't know whether she got one. I don't know. But the impala making a sound as though she did. It'll be hard to get to see her. We can try around the other side. The way the impala are behaving, it sounds like she did. She didn't get the male. There's one little boy. lion are gonna hear this. Pardon?
I've counted them.
We should have counted them, yeah. But I think some might have run off in another direction as well. Huh? Let's just stop and listen. Oh, I'm not going to hear anything with this wind. But the way the impala are behaving, I think she got one. Well, I'm sure it was here that she came down.
Here, right? Yeah, it was right there.
I suppose we might have seen something if we'd been this side. I don't think she'd appreciate me being on foot looking. I don't think she'd appreciate me walking around. Okay.
Right? Yeah, all right.
Cool. Franklin's are shouting much further down. Maybe she missed and she's gone. Maybe she's dragged it away too. Maybe a bunch of things, but
Yeah, it's fine.
back. We're just coming around onto Batley Road just to see if she didn't maybe come through this way. We were Franklin suddenly shouting out here. Try and go back there and see, but I don't know. Only thing now is to try and find her. If she made a kill, she'll go and fetch the cubs. If she missed, she's going to carry on hunting. She's not going to go back to them. I think somebody was actually asking, I think, how long does she leave them for? You can leave them for a few days at this age. Sometimes at this age, the longer she leaves them, the hungrier they get, the more chance they're going to have of finding and maybe making their own kills. Quicker route to their independence. Rita, thanks for clearing that up. Okay, I understand. Rita was saying if they relaxed without vehicles here, if they were to go to another area, would they be as relaxed with other vehicles? Franklins are shouting again down there. Our best bet is to stick to the Franklins shouting. Quite right, Rita. Actually, it poses a huge threat to these children if they get out of the reserve. But I have to say that they are accustomed to these open vehicles that drive around, and also we must remember that there's also the sound of the vehicle that they're getting, that they're identifying with. And my little Land Rover that doesn't do drives, I don't drive around this property in my little Land Rover, except occasionally I have, when I've needed to go and find something for the camera, or when I've used it for work, or occasionally driving between lodges. And when I've seen these animals in my little Land Rover, they behave completely differently because it's a different shape. It's different. They're not used to it. So while they are accustomed to these vehicles, yes, if they were outside the reserve and a vehicle like one of these approached them, they would just generalize then and behave the same way as they maybe behave here. But they definitely don't behave the same way to other vehicles, to stranger vehicles. And it also depends on how the vehicles behave with them. But it can be a threat to them. It can be that they are so accustomed to humans and, well, vehicle movement here, that given the possibility, if they were to go to an area where it would be in danger, it would be a bit of a nightmare for them. They would be susceptible to the whims of other people. So we're going to go out to Chelapan. Sorry. Hello, Tammy. If she did get a kill, why did they stick around? Well, that's how impala are. When a predator makes a go for an animal like that, whether she hunts, whether she's successful or not, those impala won't run far. They will stay within their safety zone from the leopard, or just out of their safety zone, so that if the leopard made any move towards them, they'd know that they can get away, because the leopard would need to be twice that distance closer to be able to make a successful strike. So as long as they maintain that distance, they feel comfortable that they can't get one of them, that she can't get one of them. So it wouldn't really matter, even if she did or she didn't. Those impala are going to face the predator and shout at it as a means of self-preservation. The longer and harder you shout, the least likelihood there is of you being eaten. I don't know know where that Franklin was calling from, but we're just having a look around. So many kills, and when the leopard misses, the impalas run off and they give alarm a little bit and they watch her, and when they make a strike, boy, the impala behave a lot more intensely. They get far more indignant and even running towards the predator, facing it. Not likely to hunt again. She will if one came really close, but they don't get that close. Hello, Sarah. How long do they nurse, lions and leopards? Sarah, the lioness won't, or a leopard, won't leave her cubs on a kill. She'll be with her cubs on a kill. It's one of the most vulnerable times for them. Not likely that a lioness will leave her cubs when they're on a kill. On the other hand, when they're nursing, only just tasting meat, most of their nourishment comes from nursing. Now at 8 months old, leopard cubs like this aren't going to be nursing at all. They might try for comfort. Yeah, the lion have come out here now. They heard the impala. The whole pride are here now. I've just seen one of the lionesses. They must have heard the impala, and if Karula's anywhere nearby and she sees, she's going to go straight into a tree. Station with Ngala. Oh, no wonder I'm not hearing anything. Any station with Ngala? Yeah, they're right here exactly where it is. They heard the impala. Because they must have come walking and then saw the impala here. But yes, this is exactly where the impala were. But Karula, whether she is around still, I don't know. Hello, girls. Wow. Well, talk about cat weather. It is quite possible that Karula is still just 20-30 yards in this bush with a kill. They might not smell it yet. She won't have opened it up at all. She might not even know they're here.
Maybe it would be worse to travel around, have a look again where we were when you
Yeah. Except we got a roadblock. Hello, Debbie. Just before I get to your question about the tail, or rather, no tail, Sarah was just asking, I wonder if that one can hear something.
The BB, no?
Yeah. Is she watching something? I don't know if I fully addressed Sarah's question. She knows something's up, that girl. I wonder if she's... Karula might have heard the impala shouting at the lion then, because maybe she would have picked up on that. Debbie was asking about this lioness losing her tail. Obviously it was traumatic, but could that be a fatal wound? Could it have been a serious wound? It could have, we're talking about the spinal column. There's those caudal vertebrae that extend from the thoracic vertebra. Those vertebrae carry important nerves. She's smelling something. If not even maybe the smell of impalas losing its bowels and stuff in fright. I think Karula made a kill, and I think something's going to happen soon. I hope she doesn't lose it. If she did, I hope they don't find it. So yeah, what can happen is, if you can get an infection, the cat could have got an infection in her spinal column, and that would have been fatal. Would have gone straight to the brain, it killed her. So a very very lucky cat to have survived that kind of a thing. But once again, just showing how resilient nature is. Their saliva is pretty good antibiotic. Gail, evidently she lost her tail to hyena in 2005, and then there was a little stump that got infected, and she chewed it off herself, evidently. That's the last little stump.
Look how they're all sleeping in the same position.
Yeah. Using an arm to hold the head. 3 of these little girls in the same position. What can she see? Maybe impala? No?
I also think she made a kill. Somewhere in there.
Hmm?
I also think she made a kill. Somewhere in there.
Debbie wants to know if it's a given that she'll lose the kill if the lion finds it, if she did make a kill. No, it's not a given. She can get it into a tree out of their reach. Although it's been observed how these young females like playing in trees, and they're known to climb into trees, steal leopard kills. I'm going to say hello to her daughter, to her sister. No. Not even a headbutt and a nudge. Just company. Out of the wind. Getting a bit chilly. Station Zingala now out on Yellow Road South.
Standing by. Yeah, you coming by Tingala? Yes, I did. I would like to respond to that. I'm on Gary Dabna.
Yvonne wants to know if when lion leave their parents, do they recognize each other later? Very much so. Very much so. Actually, I was talking about that earlier. I don't know why I get so distracted. I think of these things that I want to answer, and then I start answering things, and something comes up, like leopards hunting, or lions where leopards used to be, or something, and I just forget where I was completely in all the excitement. And we're talking about large prides of lion and things, how they split up. I didn't say too much about that this morning. But when prides of lion get too large, what happens is some of the cubs, when they reach sub-adulthood, they break off from the pride, either become a splinter pride within the territory, or they or they leave.
Okay, just go back to Spaghetti Junction and then take Tsalala Road South. They are lying on the road, which might be this road. So Tsalala Road South, confirm? It is Tsalala Road South. Mobile station, one from my company, does anybody have an update for me?
What's this Franklin? There's a Franklin wandering out here, complaining at these lionesses, and this youngster's watching the Franklin. See how close the Franklin gets. This mild interest from this young lioness. Franklin's got a lot to say.
Okay, copy that, thank you.
Yeah, Marco. I'm sure you're welcome. No, Paul, we're much further down towards Spaghetti Junction. Gail wants to know if that tailless wonder will be off balance running. I don't think so. I think it was 6 years ago. I think by now she's managed to figure out how to do things without the tail. Leopard, it would be a much more serious, well, not serious, but the leopard's tail is used a lot more for balance than lion. Even cheetah uses its tail more than lion. Lion's tail is more just for communication, non-verbal communication, as it were. Hello, Sarah in California. Is Karula in danger? And what would happen if her cubs came along? Would they get attacked? Sarah, no, she's not in danger. She's experienced lion on many occasions. And her cubs aren't likely to come here because they don't know that she's here. They won't leave where she left them. She would have to go and fetch them. If she went to fetch them and brought them back, there is an element of danger involved. They're smaller than these lion. They're quicker and they can get into trees easier. They can get into parts of trees that lion can't get into. You've got to remember that these things have been coexisting for millions and millions of years. If the danger was so real and so imminent, one or the other would not exist. And within a lion's territory, you're always going to get a lot of leopard falling within the territory of lion. So they learn how to live with each other. There's obviously conflict, and lion will, if they could, lion will kill leopard. Which Ingwe? Still on Torchwood. Okay, thanks. Sorry, Dave. Hello, Dave. Interesting question. Hang on, I've just got to do something here. Which station approaching Angala? Yeah, let me pull out. There are 3 movers here. Just stand by. Alright, we've got to go. And we're not going to be able to go and look for Karula. Maybe we can. See if we can cut through this corner. No, it's okay. The last time I saw Karula was here, and she took off after some mala. That's why the Tsalala came out. And I'm not sure. I think she bumbled one in here. I can't find her though. It's too thick. So sorry. There's too much going on at once. This radio, people, other radio. Let me take a step. Let's just take a step back. Where were we? Okay, so where did she go in? She went in here, hey? She made a go for it over here somewhere. Yeah, that's where it was. It's coming from that angle. Although there were Franklins calling further down the river, so there's a chance that maybe she missed and she ended up going downstream, down towards Twin Dams. Put our nose in.
You have something there? No, negative. I'm just closing down for the door on that. Okay, copy, thanks.
I suppose we could have come through here, we would have been able to see better. I think of it, if I remember correctly, I've been with elephant down here. But no, I'm now pretty sure that nothing happened. Unless he's dragged it off, that's another thing. She could have dragged it away somewhere. And the key is now going to be driving around trying to see if she's going to make her way back to the cub. Try and get up there, Seb. You can see a vehicle try to get out of here once before. Let's see if the Land Rover can do it. See if the Land Rover can do it. It's almost vertical. Effortless. Effortless. Okay, well, let's go for a drive. We'll keep track of what the cats are doing. These cats. We'll go to Twin Dams, towards Twin Dams. By now she's probably at Twin Dams. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. 3 times wonderful. Please feel free to email Craig and tell him that I got horribly distracted in the middle of your answer and you'd still like another answer, and remind me of the question if I didn't get to it, and if I only got half of the answer out. I think I might be excused for the distractions this afternoon. Lion and leopard and lion and Doug wants to know if lion will take prey from leopard. Very much so, Doug, at the drop of a hat, which is why those lion came so quickly when those impala were calling. Let's go down the river towards Mamba Road. Whoa, sorry. Any chance they get, Doug, they will do so. Which is one of the reasons why leopards have developed the ability to take their prey into a tree, because most lions don't really climb well. Youngsters do. Well, I have seen male lions climbing tree, and up in East Africa I've seen adult females, even older females, very, very high up in marula trees in the heat of the day, getting away from biting tsetse flies and the heat. That's the elephant here. They all went down towards Twin Dams too. No sign of a leopard track. Sorry we missed the sunset. Doug, leopard will take, or rather lion will take prey from anything. They'll chase hyena off of their kill even. They'll chase cheetah off their kill, although it doesn't take much to chase cheetah off of their kill. Even jackal can chase cheetah off of a kill, and they're a quarter of the size. Vultures, I've seen vultures overwhelm cheetah, that they just leave their kill to the vultures because vulture's numbers just become too overwhelming. Buffalo. Hello boys. Sorry. So now, maybe. Some bugger boys, yeah, all in thick bush. But that's buffalo, elephant, lion and leopard. All we need now is a rhino. Not going to get much of a view of these boys. Yari in the Skovanin, just north of Twin Dams. A giraffe. A giraffe. A giraffe. A giraffe. Lovely big old dark old man. Sorry, what did the lion hit? Sandy wants to know if the lion heard a death cry. No, I don't think so, Sandy. If anything, it looks like maybe Karula didn't make a kill. I was wrong. And Impala were just really upset with her for even trying. They wouldn't have heard a death cry. Well, if there was a death cry, I would have heard the death cry. Then I would have been even more certain. But no, the lion heard the Impala's alarm call. Hello, hippo. Giraffe's wandering off. I thought we'd see him from this side.
I'm welcome to rejoin you because I've got some new guests here. I'm pulling out, Able is unlocked.
Okay, Giraffe's moving off into the distance.
You guys keep coming, no problem. Keep coming, that's what we must work with. Copy, thank you,
We'll get a clearer view of Hippo. Just let's, I don't know if we can zoom in on him. Oh no, never mind. Giraffe's gone off into the bush. Let's see if we can get closer to Hippo. A better view. It's quite nice actually this late light. This is the hippo we saw out of the water the other day. Oh yes, Dave, that's right. I knew I forgot one important one. Dave's saying in the summer months, if guests are wearing insect repellent, is it a no-no for the cats because the cats will smell it? Dave, I think it kind of just all blends in with the smell of the vehicle. You remember these are combustion engines, diesel engines particularly, pretty strong smelling. A relaxed hippo, this actually, apart from the fact that he's dozing off, but he let us watch him the other night as well. It's not a no-no, Dave. I would say it's a no-no for health reasons, especially the DEET containing insect repellents. Rather wear things that have natural oils, citronella, organic stuff, rather than the chemicals. You have insect that heavy DEET. There we go. Franklin's in the drainage line again. And you can damage your cameras by having that stuff on your hands and touching your plastic bodies of cameras, and they're terrible when it comes to plastics, out of nylon, synthetics. I used to have to repaint the bathroom counters because people would spill their insect repellent in many of the camps that I ran, sometimes on a weekly basis. That's one big hippo, one big sleepy hippo. Okay, let's move along. Actually, I'm just going to put on the jacket quickly while we're looking at hippo. It's getting cold. Okay, let's go and drive around, see if we can pick up Karula again somewhere, somehow. Bye-bye, Mr. Hippo and Mr. Giraffe, who we didn't get. Gone off into the dark. The dark giraffe wandered off into the dark. Woo! Is that all you had to say? Just a woo! I suppose to him it's kind of like a goodbye and good riddance. Wow, look at all this traffic. Is it long weekend or something? I wanted to see if there wasn't a rhino here. I guess not. Looks like crocodile's been moving between the Orphan Dams and Baboon Pan again. And crocodile, so a little bit old, but the crocodile tracks here again. Hello Afira, wondering how long a leopard can survive without a kill. Well, this is the thing about leopard, Afira, is that they don't necessarily have to make a kill of a big animal. And that's why leopard are so successful, because they can feed, they can catch insects, they can catch birds, they can catch small things, and they can subsist. So it doesn't ever come down to a leopard starving. It can't happen. Can if it's severely injured and it can't hunt, but I mean a healthy leopard, even a young cub of 8 months, I think it's even been known to happen that an 8-month-old after losing its mother has managed to survive. I don't know, how old was Whitecloth's son when she disappeared and left him? He wasn't that old. I think he was only about 8 months. So it doesn't ever really come to it that they have to eat and then wait for another. I don't know. For me, it's hard for me to explain. They can sometimes go a long period without eating or killing because they miss. So I just thought I saw something down here, but I guess not. Okay. But if push came to shove, they had a big meal, they would probably be able to go for a week, maybe even a bit longer, 8-9 days. Without a kill. I know lion can do that too. Lion are a little different. They're bigger animals. They need to kill bigger things. And they're too big and bulky to chase things like squirrels. And a squirrel is not going to do much to a lion. At least a squirrel is a small meal for a leopard. Or a mongoose. Something else small. Just to tide it over. But for lion it's a little bit more critical. Now, for obvious reasons, we can't go to the cubs, but we're going to go back towards the lodge just in case she's gone back to the cubs. Maybe we'll just come back to the lion. But it's quite clear that today is a cat day, not much else happening. Wind's dropping a lot, not much wind anymore. What was that?
I don't know. Screaming.
Yeah. That's like Treehouse Dam way.
Almost like a human screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost like
I can't, I mean, with this thing in my ear and this other thing hissing in my ear, I just heard faint.
Elephant.
Is it elephants?
Again, yeah.
Let's go back up.
No, it's elephant.
Alright, we'll go Tsalala and up to Treehouse Dam. It's a bit dark for elephants already, but maybe we'll get to see. What it is that they're screaming about. Anyone tell me if there was a Kombi picked up on Western Gari today? Crown Flower Shop.
How many more
Rhino, I was just thinking, if there was a rhino to go to, we could go past these elephants just to say hello and then go find a rhino. Make it a big 5 drive. Look, there's a bushbuck. Don't get to see bushbuck and maybe she'll stay there. The Shire cousin of Kudu and Inyala, the smaller cousin of Kudu and Inyala, the bushbuck. Hello, Jock. Alright, let's leave her be. Oh, you have a bit of a fright. Okay. Jock wants to know how old is Karula, the mother leopard, and how old are her cubs. Jock, she is 7 years old. She was 7 in March. The cubs are 9 months old now. They were born in November. Somehow I don't think Karula's ready to go back to the cubs yet. I'm still kind of convinced she went south. And I'm hoping to prove myself wrong by driving north. We couldn't do much else other than go to Twin Dams and have a look in the riverbed and look around a little bit. Haven't seen any tracks. She is staying in the riverbed. She's clever. It's a windy day. That's where the animals are hiding, in those thicker ravines or thicker dry riverbeds where there's less wind and noise. It'll be quite exciting for guests tonight coming home from the game drive and having to walk past leopards in the dark. There's an owl. I think it's an owl. It looks like it's silhouetted. Yep, giant eagle owl. Don't fly, don't fly. Don't fly. Oh. Maybe it's going to land again. There it is. Landed in another dead tree. Maybe we'll be able to get it silhouetted from this angle. Ubolactius. Vero's eagle owl, also known as giant eagle owl. Probably hunting a scrub hare or guinea fowl. filming. Okay, zoomies also. I hope if any zoomies are watching, we're keeping an eye out for and an ear out for noises at the dam. Karula's coming back. Let's see what we see. Yeah, there's a nice silhouette. It's pretty straight. It looks like a cat. The cat of the sky. He's looking at us. There's a nice star. I don't know which star it is, I'm not sure. But you know what, if I go forward, we're gonna have this, we'll have a star just above its head. How's that looking? Oh, just zoom in. Let me see where that, just to get that angle. Where the star is. Oh, I thought you would. Okay, I see what you mean. It was sitting in the middle of that V. It could have got close to that star and it's given it a halo. Okay. Because I've got the star far to the right. I thought if I was going more. Anyways.
Yeah, when I see for you, yeah.
Yeah. Nice try though. It's flown up towards quarantine, you might be able to catch it again. Hello Patty. Do bushbuck travel in large groups like impala or more like kudu? Actually neither, Paddy. Bushbuck live in very dense bush, and most animals that live in dense vegetation are solitary. And well, bushbuck, they mostly only find a pair or a female with a young or a male on his own. Very seldom a family group. Okay, so not looking like there's any sign of Our Lady of the Night. Karula. Coming back this way, so See the heron's fishing in front of the lights. Probably using the lights to help it catch frogs. And we should be getting a beautiful moonrise fairly soon. I caught it last night. I came down to the lodge to watch it rise over Gowrie Dam. It was spectacular. Got to quarantine. See if we can see the owl again, and then we're going to do a bit of a ride around, see if we can find Karula coming back. Maybe even go back to the lion for 10 or 15 minutes before we say goodbye. See where they're going to go. Oops. Oh, there's a cat. Looks like could be a Janet. Disappeared. There. Janet. Too shy, and if I just go after, it's going to keep pushing it if I try and go after it. I might go into that tree. Whoa! I might go into a tree stump. Oh, don't look where I'm going. There, oh, just behind the tree now. I was sticking to the shadows, staying on the opposite side. So we're now in the open next to the marula. Yeah, and off she goes, sorry. No, it's just running. Good child. I don't think you saw any of that, but that was a Janet. It is kind of related to the cat. I'd say it's probably closer in relation as the mongoose. G-E-N-E-T, Janet. And that looked like it was the lesser spotted Janet. Oh, there goes our owl. Missed it again. I thought it flew further up into open area. Oh, missed it again. coming past one of the owner's houses. Let me switch my lights off. It would be best to avoid that area at night. What was that? A bat? The wind has been so strong coming up this road because it's full facing the wind. Most of the tracks have all been wiped out on it. And the tracks of the baboon that were here earlier this afternoon that were fresh are almost obliterated from the sand washing over them. Oh, tickle's coming back. Wonder where she went. I wonder. Here's another Janet. I think it's a Janet. In the tree. Hmm?
Ok, sim, a galera, yeah. Sure.
Down a bit.
Ah, yeah, there.
I'd have to move. I see there's some branches in the way. We can try. Try and get a bit closer. Whoops.
Move.
Yeah. Try and get a bit closer. Seems to be quite relaxed in the tree. Hello. Oh, it's going. Climbing higher up. Now we'll see it again. In that fork now, it's very, very faint. So the middle of the light. See where that fork is? No, I can't see it now either. Oh. The seal wants to.
Sure.
What's that?
Elephants.
There.
Yeah. That direction.
No, the Janet's still there. We might be able to get closer. The seal wants to know if the cubs would survive if something happened to Karula. It might do. There are a few things against them, Lucille, and one of those is the very high population of leopards here, and it would be very hard for them to stay away from the rest of the leopard population. It's gone right up to the back. You can just see its eyes sticking out through there. Possible, I guess. Oh, there it is. I don't know if we can get the camera that high. Hang on. Just gonna try and move. I mean, you can just see the ring tail. A few of the spots. Okay, let's just. I'm gonna have to turn around now anyway. So let me just try and. Oh, but I can't go in there. Tree stumps there. I'll try and do this. There you go, there's a genet. Small spotted genet. Very pretty little thing. It's looking over towards the elephants making a noise.
Yeah, look, I'm trying to drive around. Okay, thanks.
Pardon?
There's some stuff happening in there.
Excuse me. Oh, I can't talk. Penny, hello Penny. Saying she has a large spotted genet in the roof above her bedroom, in the ceiling. See, that must make a bit of a noise. There's a large spotted genet at the lodge that has become quite habituated. Are we going to leave this child be? Excellent sighting of a genet for a change. It seems to be looking mostly up towards where the elephant are making a noise. What did you just hear, Seb? Ow.
I don't know, I heard some stuff happening in the bushes there on our left.
We're here.
You can shine.
I've just cricked my neck. Ouch, it's like I pulled a muscle.
Yeah, oh, can you hear that?
No.
Elephants rumbling. I think those ladies are like not too
No, it
far
can't
from
be
here.
too far. I mean, the way this genet is looking,
Yeah.
it's more concerned with the... Now it's looking at me. Okay. Leave the little thing alone. Goodbye, child. Thank you very much for showing everybody who you are. The nocturnal animals that we look for when we're driving around. I managed to see all the way from the road, 50 feet away. Because its eyes reflected back at me. Birds, it hunts reptiles, insects, uses those big ears to locate prey as well as good nocturnal vision. Impala. No, I just saw an eye and I thought, oh, cat, because I've just got cat on the brain today. So it was an impala. We're not going to Sorry, Seb, I was listening to Craig. What's that? Oh, okay. Elephants are here somewhere, but I don't really want to shine on them. Not really. Okay. No. Sure. I know there was... Who was that, Craig? Sorry. My brain gets fried. Vivian, when I've got voices coming in from both sides, then I get this kind of like selective hearing. The one ear hears a few words of a sentence and the other ear hears a few words of somebody else's sentence, and I get two incomplete sentences. While I can multitask, my brain can't multitask when it comes to hearing. Vivian says the white under its eyes looked like it was undulating, kind of varied the width of that. Not really, Vivian. I think it might have been because it was blinking, or it was just looking in different directions. But no, that white is a pretty fixed size patch of white fur. find Weaver's Nest all the way to Gary Main. Might find Karula there. Come back up. Eleven have been very busy here. We missed them. We were so busy with the cats. Something's flowering that smells pretty nice. Wow, this elephant we're here. Oh, it is a big herd. Tara will have to find them tomorrow. Look at all these trees they've pushed. We didn't come this far today. We could have. We wouldn't have seen any cats because I would have just sat with a big herd of ellies. But they also, just judging by these tracks and things coming in from the south, there's some dung in the road. Looks like they probably only came across from Gary Main later on in the afternoon. Come in. Hey, what's happening on Ngala? Interesting. By this stage it could even be Karula. Andrew's just saying that there were reports of Mvula up on Cheetah Cut Line heading north, actually following another leopard. I'm wondering if she could have gone that far. I mean, after she did what she did, it wasn't a far stretch to get to Cheetah Cut Line. Stay off Gary Main, there are too many cars here. That could well be that she went and did a loop up to Cheetah Cut Line, back up towards Biffles Cut Line, and coming around again on from that angle, because she missed Impala here. I'd say that might be why we're not seeing any tracks. Tara might find some tracks going up Battalier Road or even Mumba Road going up towards Cheetah Cut Line tomorrow, which would make sense. And then again, Tundi was also seen on Torchwood. She might have also come further west. She might also have been walking there, and Mvula's following her tracks. So 1, 2, 3. At least 6 leopard found this afternoon, and at least 7 lion. I think those 2 males were found as well. Coming in here. Impala. because Karula hasn't popped out on any of the roads that we've been doing. We've been doing a couple of good loops, but only west of where we saw her. We didn't go anywhere east. limp until we need to say goodbye. Well, tomorrow we will continue the saga. Where the lions have gone, which leopards may have walked up to cheetah cut line, where Karula went, where the cubs are. The soap opera continues tomorrow, and Tara will be taking you through the paces of ins and outs and ups and downs of the characters of Juma Game Reserve. I hope the lions stick around. Maybe they'll catch something. I hope Karula is successful and we find her on a kill with the cubs. I hope the elephant stick around. Big herd like that. Might even be lucky enough to see them coming to the dam tonight. As well as Karula and cubs. In fact, we will probably be depending on our viewers during the night when we're all asleep. Depending on the zoomies and the viewers to keep an eye out for Karula coming back to fetch the cubs. Also the sounds of maybe leopard calling, the sounds of lion maybe. Who knows, maybe these other cats might also change direction. They haven't moved much with the Tsalalas. They're still just across the river from where we are now. We're almost at Tsalala. They're across the river, the Mulwati River. The dry riverbed now, but they're across on the other side. Vulture's Nest, Nyala Road, South Junction. I'm going to get to Tsalala. Call it a day. And I'm going to have to put clutch fluid in here and get home. So, stop on this. Come on. Fine afternoon. Yeah, whenever we have a situation with cats on the hunt and other cats nearby, it can always get very, very exciting. It can get very tense. It can also get quite dangerous for the cats, that is. And it was actually very nice to have had that resolved without any conflict between lion and leopard. And it looks like she missed those impala, so that was a nice thing to know too. It's not always fun seeing an animal get killed. As much as a lot of people might want to see it, as exciting as it may be, it is a little bit gruesome, and it isn't something that you forget very easily. Sometimes it's nicer just to be there and to see the stalking and see the thing taking place, and then finding it afterwards, after she's killed it. You miss out that little patch of where she has to kill the animal. But it's pretty neat. Leopard have to be pretty neat and pretty quick, not like lion and wild dog and hyena and things. And baboon, wow, that's another story. Thank you very much for joining me, and Seb, and Craig, and Tara, all of us here at Wild Earth Safari. It's been a pleasure having you along, and we'll see you tomorrow morning, 6:30 Central African time, with Tara taking you out. Bye-bye.
And there, Mark.
Where?
There on the road.